everybody. My name is Matt DeWolf. I am the host of Better Car Washing Everywhere, the podcast you can find wherever you are consuming your podcast content. I'm here at the Car Wash Show 2026 in Nashville. We are sitting in the Arcadian Services booth, and we've been doing live recordings all day long, talking to car wash folks, and we are having a great time. Up next, I've got a fun conversation for you that's not going to stink. This is all about reclaim and how you can get more out of your water in your wash. And to have that conversation, I'm really excited to have Ayaaz Jamal, better known as AJ, on the show. AJ, welcome.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, good to see you, man.
You too.
So you came down from Canada just for this, obviously.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about just kind of backstory. How'd you get into this industry? How'd you pick car washing?
So 8 years ago, I was at a crossroad in my career, just looking for the next opportunity, and I got an opportunity with a local car wash operator in Vancouver, BC. I stayed there for about a year, learned the ropes of the industry, and then finally an opportunity came with a PE group that were looking to start developing car washes. We started off with one, and now we have 4 state-of-the-art car washes in British Columbia and in Vancouver, in the greater Vancouver market. And we started off with 1 employee, now we're over 60 employees across the chain, and record numbers this year. We're continuing to grow, and hopefully we can continue to develop more sites as time permits.
That's fascinating. That is a pretty positive growth path and pretty aggressive. What do you think? What do you attribute that to? Is there just demand for that service where you are?
Yeah, I think the population has grown, and then our market was underserved. So there was always one operator initially in the market, then the second one popped up. And because we're so overly saturated in terms of size, it gives us opportunity to open in populated areas and really make sure that we control the market both from a service standpoint and from a quality of product side.
Okay, so walk me through number of locations, number of cities you're in.
We're in 4 different cities within the British Columbia region, and we've got four washes.
Okay, so 1 in each city.
And self-storages as well, so we do both businesses.
Interesting. And so for those of us who are geographically challenged, talk to me about on the map, where's Vancouver, which side?
So
east or west?
It's west coast.
West
We're
coast.
2.5 hours away from Seattle, just across the border from there, from Washington State. And then, so we have our downtown area, which is Vancouver. We have a wash that serves that market. And then when you go more towards out of the city, about 30 minutes to 40 minutes west, and then that's where you get into our other washes like Coquitlam, Surrey, and then our one wash, which is 3.5 hours away from the city, which is in Kamloops, BC. It's in a mountainous region just off the highway, and that's a busy site during winter where we get heavy mud and stuff like that during the weather changes.
It's funny to think that at some point in your life, you had no idea the car washes existed in this way.
Nope, never. And I never thought I would get into this industry, but now I'm in love with it and can't leave it.
Yeah, that's kind of what happens, right? It's everybody always says you get a little bit of the chemistry in your blood, a little soap in your blood, you can't get it out.
Absolutely.
Can't get it out.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about kind of some of the challenges that you're running into, right? Like, this is not an easy business.
Nope.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the hurdles you've had to overcome.
So I think for us, because of where we are politically in terms of Canada, it's very hard sometimes to get the equipment and services that we first needed. So having to develop systems and processes internally and a good talent bench to pull from has given us the opportunity to be able to be scalable. So if in the future, once we start hitting a runway of scalability again, I've got that internal talent developed, whereas in the States, we've got a 30, 40-year industry that's been growing, and you've got a great talent base to pull from, whereas in Canada, there's not that opportunity yet. We're still a young industry. People say we're just across the border, but I can tell you this from a wash standpoint and growth standpoint, we're still probably 5 or 10 years behind.
Oh, fascinating. So for everybody in the States, don't go to Canada.
Yeah.
Don't come to AJ's market.
Yeah, no, please don't.
But there is some opportunity there.
Yep, there is.
I like that. So tell me about kind of water in your part of Canada. Is it bountiful? There's
bountiful of water because we're in Canada. The one challenge we've had as well is with the reclaimed water, because obviously we get into cost of pumping tanks, keeping the system up to scratch. In 3 of our sites we have have the velocity water system from Sunny's for treatment. Sometimes we can run into problems where a part burns out on us last minute. So in order to enhance that customer experience, I stumbled across Arcadian a few years ago, and that's where my relationship with Kip and the team and everything has evolved. And we also got a distributor set up locally as well, so it's been really good for us.
So talk about the product first, and we'll talk about the relationship second, because I am curious. What are the challenges that you have when you talk about your reclaim system in general?
So our high pressure is at the front of the wash, and someone from the States will raise an eyebrow and laugh. But yes, all of our pressure is at the front, so we use reclaim water. So initially when we're opening up in the morning and getting up, we're starting our business up for the day, that's reclaim water going on the vehicle. So as soon as you open up, you're used to smelling that egg smell and that thing that smells like bad turkey in the fridge over a Christmas dinner or whatever. So we have to try and combat that smell. And that means a lot from a customer experience standpoint. When you've got 4 washes and you're dependent on a reputation, we need to make sure that that customer experience is continuous. So this is where we stumbled upon Reclaim Defender. And since then, we've been using that in our washes, especially in the morning time. And with the dosage and everything that we've been working with Kip and the team here, it's been brilliant. We can open the wash in the morning, not have to worry about that smell, that lingering smell. Some of the operators in Canada are open 24 hours. We're not, so we don't have the luxury of doing that. So when we close at 8, we just put a scoop of it in the morning, and then when we wake up in the morning or open the wash in the morning, we don't have that stench anymore. Yeah,
you can't really. I mean, you could put fragrance on it, but that's just masking it, and then it's going to smell worse.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
So what is that product actually doing? Like, is it eating?
It's eating. The enzymes in the actual product are eating up the leftover stuff, like the leaves and the sort of bad earthy smell that we get left in our tanks, especially in Vancouver, where we get a lot of tree sap and things like that go into our tunnel. It's hard for the ozonator system to treat all of that because it's actual hard material that gets put into the tank. So we notice when we're putting it eats up all of that residual garbage and stuff that's sitting there in the bottom and gets rid of that earthly stench and smell that would happen over time of wearing and bacteria and all that.
Well, and that means, I mean, you mentioned it earlier, but like getting into cost of pumping out those tanks. Well, if there's less physical debris in there, less organic material, there's less to pump.
Yeah, absolutely, and we've noticed that as well from pumping the tanks. So initially we'd be pumping all 3 reclaim tanks. We can once a quarter do the 3 tanks, or once a quarter just do tank 1. That's it. So that helps us in a big difference in terms of cost for managing our business.
Has it changed, using that and knowing that it's working, has that changed how you kind of think about where else you might be able to use the water?
Yeah, so in the last 4 years, and since we've been using this product, we're now using that same reclaim water on our wraps, on our mitters, on everything else. So we're saving water usage that way as well, because we were using fresh water before. Now we're able to use that reclaim water on our wrap material and stuff like that too.
Which means it's costing you way less money to operate your wash.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Which means that you can go from 4 to 40.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, easy.
Yep.
It's easy.
Yep.
Talk to me just a little bit. I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about what it was like for you when you went from a single wash to 2 washes to 3 washes to now 4 washes. Talk about just kind of that journey.
Yeah, so I think once you open your first, you're always nervous, especially when you're new to the industry, and I was one that was never good with a wrench. I'll be honest with it. I didn't know what clockwise was and anti-clockwise and all that stuff. I can barely build IKEA furniture at that point. But
well, most of us can't.
Yeah, you know, exactly. Feels like you're building a spaceship. Yeah. But as we grew, our knowledge grew of the industry and the understanding of it, and we've had great partners along the way, like Arcadian, Sunny's, who have been our partner in our equipment side, learning the information, taking that in, putting the best practices in that we have for the industry, and slowly we started to gain more confidence. And as we've done that now, we have our, like I mentioned before, we have our own maintenance team internally. All our repairs and fixes and installs are done there. When we close after hours, we've got a maintenance team that goes in to keep our washes running. Our breakdowns are broken down by about, have stopped now, but we're 90% less breaking down. Just having strong maintenance processes and systems in place.
That's super exciting because, I mean, you could spend your whole life doing maintenance.
Exactly. And that's 90% of what stops your wash from breaking.
Yeah. But how's it felt for you on a personal level to see that growth?
Yeah, it's fantastic, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for our brand. And today, like I could tell you, like from a reputation standpoint, we just surpassed 4,800 reviews all across all our sites, and we've our longest being open for 6 years at an average of 4.6 on Google. Google. Our number one site is 4.9 with 1,100 reviews.
That's amazing. Yeah. What are you doing? So what are you doing to kind of incentivize people to leave those?
So our staff are incentivized to the hourly staff that are on the day-to-day. They are incentivized by $5 spiff to get them to get the review and get the feedback from the customers. And then we also do a monthly employee recognition piece. And then at the end of the year, we really celebrate our staff at our Christmas dinners and give them a chance to prop up. And in an industry that's experiencing high turnover all day, we're at a less than 5% turnover in the last 4 years.
Wow. Wow. That's huge. That's huge with what's going on today in terms of labor, because keeping those good people means you don't have to hunt for not so good people.
Yeah, right? Absolutely, and that's the thing. With wages going up, cost of living going up, we're giving people an opportunity not only to make a living for themselves, but to also find a passion that we find internally as a management team. And luckily with that, I've been able to replicate that fashion, and we've got some amazing managers and team members that have really shown and showcase and take ownership. And when a customer goes up, they turn around saying that they're the owner of the wash, and that's where you give the ownership.
Yeah, that's so perfect. That's so perfect, because it is always everybody you talk to in this industry who's running a wash, they're trying to figure out, how do I instill that owner mentality into my people? And you guys have figured out, at least for now.
Yep.
At least for now.
Yep. And that's it happens with the rule of scalability. And as long as you continue to develop your talent internally, that gets people, the new leaders of tomorrow, excited for the industry that's, in my opinion, is going to have some hyper growth in the next few years in Canada. Man,
I'm excited for you guys. You've got quite the path in front of you.
Yep.
I'm curious. I want to ask one more product question, because we are in the Arcadia booth.
100%.
I saw recently a video for Wrap Renew.
Yep.
Are you using this?
I am. We were one of the first adopters as soon as it came out, and we were telling Kip we need a product for our wraps, and it's come out, and man, it saved us money on buying new wrap material. It's kept our tunnels looking good and our customers happy. Even when our cleaning crews are doing the work at night, because we have our cleaning crew that does the stuff, they've noticed that it made their life easier as well from a cleaning perspective.
Well, and like I think most of us know, the brushes are kind of the last thing you remember to clean.
100%. 100%. And you can see when the difference between a tunnel that's maintained and not maintained. I always say to my staff, when we're looking from the outside in, you can see the grease on the brushes or the moss, especially in our moisture climate. Once you see that, that needs to be treated, and to replace that is thousands of dollars. And then, again, it's another maintenance part of our daily thing, where once a week we have that deep cleaning done, and we use the Wrap Renew, and it's easier applying the chemical on and pressure washing it off, and you've got a brand new brush.
But it's got to dwell.
Yeah, we let it dwell for 30 to 45 seconds, depending on what type of brushes we're using it on.
Which is not, that is not a long time.
No.
That is like talk about a quick fix for some dirty brushes.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Awesome. That's amazing. Okay, so I've got two more questions for you. One is my favorite all-time question, so you get that one last. But my next one is just really, I want to know kind of what the relationship has been like for you as you work with Arcadia and as you try their different products. What's that been like for you?
It's been great. The one thing is that they're a large company, and they still care about that old school relationship mentality that attracted me to the industry 8 years ago. When I came into this industry, I was very blind to it, and when you meet people that want to share their knowledge, experts like Kip and David Buzzard and Mark from the team, everybody in their team gives their opportunity to share the knowledge that they have, and they genuinely care about the experience of wanting to help your wash. It's not just a cost perspective thing, it's a relationship thing that comes first.
Then that's super valuable, and it's hard to find that.
Yeah, 100%.
So my favorite question, what's one thing that we can do today that's going to make us better tomorrow? In any respect.
I think it's learning from the past and applying it in the present. I think that people are too fast to forget that as new money is coming into the market, and we've seen the hyper growth in this stage of where some companies have grown, they forgot what made this industry great in the past. And that was the service-based industry, and that was the relationship-based industry. It's what is the core that holds this industry together. And whether you have 100 washes or 200 washes or 300 washes, if you truly care about the industry and you invest in your people will take care of the product will take care of the customers and the place, and all the P's will fall together. And that's when you make paper in terms of money as well. So it's all a domino effect. I think that we can't forget the past values that this industry was built on, and what really holds the foundation and what we're doing today.
Well, I'm really excited, AJ, to see kind of you take that approach and take that into Canada and kind of push your business to probably, I don't know, 400 washes here before you know it.
Yeah, that's my hope.
Perfect.
Right.
Well, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for spending a little time sharing your story. And if you're watching this on our live stream, you can tune in to more Better Car Washing Ever. I can't even talk anymore. We've been at this too long. You can tune into more Better Car Washing Everywhere episodes of the podcast, anywhere you're getting your podcast. Or tomorrow we will be on at 1 and 2:15 and 3 Central Time. Thanks, everybody.